The clink of wine glasses halted mid-toast, and my heart lurched as if someone had yanked the ground from under me. Across the candlelit table, my wife Clara laughed too brightly, her eyes darting to her phone for the third time in 10 minutes. Her family, oblivious, raised their glasses, their voices a warm hum of celebration for our 5th anniversary. But I couldn't shake the chill creeping up my spine. Her smile felt like a mask, and the air in the restaurant carried a weight I couldn't name. The dining room glowed with soft amber light, chandeliers casting delicate shadows on the cream-colored walls. The scent of roasted lamb and rosemary swirled around us, mingling with the faint tang of red wine. Clara's mother, Ellen, was mid-story about our wedding day, her hands animated, her laughter filling the space. I tried to focus, to nod at the right moments, but Clara's fingers tapped her phone under the table, her lips twitching as if guarding a secret. I told myself it was nothing, work stress, maybe, or a friend in need. She'd been distant lately, sure, but marriage ebbs and flows, doesn't it? Mark, you're awfully quiet, Ellen said, her eyes twinkling with maternal warmth. Tell us, what's the secret to keeping my daughter so happy? Clara's gaze flicked to me, sharp and fleeting, before softening into a practiced smile. Yeah, Mark, she said, her voice teasing but edged with something brittle. What's your secret? I forced a chuckle, my throat tight. Just trying to keep up with her, I said, reaching for her hand. Her fingers were cold, slipping away too quickly to adjust her napkin. The table laughed, but the sound felt hollow, like an echo in an empty room. My phone buzzed in my pocket. A work call I couldn't ignore. Excuse me, I murmured, pushing back my chair. Clara didn't look up, her thumb scrolling her screen. I stepped outside, the cool night air biting my skin as I answered. The call was quick, a client's panic over a deadline. But as I hung up, I saw it. Clara's car, parked across the street under a flickering street lamp. A man leaned against it, his silhouette sharp, his posture too familiar. My stomach twisted. I knew that stance, that tilt of the head. Ethan, her co-worker. The one she'd mentioned too often, then not at all. I froze, my breath shallow, watching as Clara slipped out of the restaurant's side door. She moved with purpose, her heels clicking on the pavement, her coat pulled tight against the autumn chill. She didn't see me standing in the shadows. My heart pounded, a drumbeat of dread, as she approached him. They didn't touch, but their voices carried, low, urgent, intimate. You can't keep texting me like this, Clara whispered, her tone sharp but trembling. Not tonight. Then when? Ethan's voice was smooth, almost mocking. You said you'd tell him, Clara. After the trip, you said. My knees buckled, the world tilting. The trip. 2 months ago, a work conference in Seattle. She'd come back glowing, her stories vivid but oddly vague. I'd chalked it up to exhaustion, to my own paranoia. Now each memory stung like a fresh cut. The late-night calls she took in the bathroom, the way she'd started locking her phone, the perfume she wore only on certain days. I will, she hissed, glancing back toward the restaurant. But not tonight. It's our anniversary, Ethan. His family's here. His laugh was low, bitter. You're still playing the perfect wife. How long, Clara? I wanted to scream, to storm across the street and demand answers, but my feet were lead. My chest ached, a raw, tearing pain, as if my heart were unraveling thread by thread. I loved her, God, I loved her. The way she hummed off-key in the shower, the way she'd curl into me during thunderstorms, the way her eyes crinkled when she laughed. Was that all a lie? Or was this moment the lie? A mistake I could unsee? I slipped back inside before they noticed me, my pulse roaring in my ears. The restaurant's warmth felt suffocating now, the chatter grating. Clara returned moments later, her cheeks flushed, her smile too wide as she slid into her seat. Sorry, she said to the table. Just needed some air. Her father, Tom, raised his glass again. To Mark and Clara, he said, his voice thick with pride. 5 years and stronger than ever. I couldn't look at her. My hand trembled around my glass, the wine sour on my tongue. To us, I echoed, my voice a stranger's. Clara's eyes met mine, and for a split second, I saw it, guilt, flickering like a candle about to gutter out. Then she smiled, and it was gone. The rest of dinner blurred. I nodded through stories, laughed when expected, But my mind churned. Every touch, every glance we'd shared over 5 years. Was it tainted? Had she been slipping away all this time? Or was this new, a reckless mistake born of some unmet need? I wanted to hate her, to let anger burn away the hurt. But all I felt was a hollow ache, a desperate wish to rewind the night. When we left, her family hugging us goodbye, Clara linked her arm through mine. "You okay?" she asked, her voice soft, almost tender. "You've been quiet." I swallowed the lump in my throat. "Just tired." I lied, my eyes on the pavement. I couldn't confront her here, not with her parents waving from their car. But the question clawed at me. Why? What had I missed? Was it me, my long hours at work, my failure to notice her drifting? Or was it her, chasing something I couldn't give? At home, she kicked off her heels, her laughter light as she recounted her mother's stories. I watched her move through our kitchen, pouring wine, her hair catching the light. She was still beautiful, still the woman I'd vowed to love forever. But now every gesture felt like a performance. I wanted to grab her, to shake her, to beg her to explain. Instead I said, "I saw you. Outside. With Ethan." Her glass froze halfway to her lips. The silence was deafening, heavier than the restaurant's chatter, thicker than the night air. Her eyes widened, then narrowed, searching mine. "Mark, it's not." "Don't." I cut her off, my voice low, shaking. "Don't lie to me. Not now." She set the glass down, her hands trembling. "It's not what you think," she said, but her voice cracked, betraying her. "Ethan, he's just a friend. We were talking about work." "Work?" I repeated, the word bitter. "At 10 p.m. On our anniversary. Against your car." Her face crumpled, and for a moment, I saw the Clara I knew, vulnerable, human, caught. "I didn't mean for this to happen," she whispered, tears welling. "It was a mistake, Mark. A stupid, reckless mistake. I love you. I've always loved you." "Then why?" My voice broke, the question a wound laid bare. "What did I do wrong?" "You didn't," she said, stepping closer, her hands reaching for me. I flinched, and she stopped, her arms falling. "It wasn't about you. It was..." I felt trapped. Work, life, everything. Ethan was there, and I let it go too far. Her words were a knife, twisting deeper. "Not about me." Then why did it feel like my world was collapsing? I wanted to believe her, to cling to the love we'd built, but the image of her with him burned behind my eyes. "How long?" I asked, dreading the answer. "A month," she said, her voice barely audible. "It ended tonight." I told him it was over. I laughed, a harsh, broken sound. "On our anniversary. How poetic." "Mark, please," she begged, tears streaming now. "I'm sorry. I'll do anything to fix this." I stared at her, the woman I thought I knew, and felt the ground shift again. I could walk away, let anger win, or I could stay, fight for us, for the life we'd built. But as I looked at her, I saw Ethan's shadow, heard his voice, and knew one truth. Love wasn't enough to erase betrayal. "I need time," I said, turning away, my voice cold. "I don't know if I can do this." As I walked to the guest room, her sobs echoed behind me, each one a reminder of what we'd lost. The door clicked shut, and in the silence I realized the twist. The betrayal wasn't just hers. I'd ignored the signs, the distance, the locked phone, because believing in us was easier than facing the truth. And now, we were both broken, caught in a story neither of us could rewrite.